really interested in learning from the old growth forests and gaining lessons that we can use to help inform the way we do sustainable forestry on the rest of the landscape. The way we think of old growth forests is really a combination of their age, so some old trees, but also really their architecture, their structure. They have a lot of really interesting characteristics, like certainly lots of big trees, but also really trees of all sizes and ages. They have this incredibly complex canopy structure, this sort of vertically continuous foliage. They have a lot of dead trees, both standing and downed. In fact, huge accumulations of downed logs on the forest floor. Got some nice tip-up mounds. They have a lot of sort of horizontal structural complexity, gaps and non-gaps. They just have a tremendous amount of ecological and biological richness. We've learned a lot from these ecosystems about different habitat characteristics that they have that we could maybe do a better job of providing in the forest that we're actively managing for timber. Sort of the idea being that we can balance the ecological objectives with some of the economic objectives. So this is the Stevensville Brook Research Area, which is an area set aside for research purposes. This is the main site for the Ecosystem Management Demonstration Project. The other site is at the University of Vermont Jericho Research Forest. The idea here was that we were looking for ways that would allow foresters and forest landowners to harvest timber sustainably, while also promoting different ecosystem values. So harvest timber, but in an ecologically friendly way. That's what this was all about. Again, the idea of trying to create more options and more flexibility for forest landowners. In this particular case, the idea was that if we could emulate natural processes a little more closely, emulate natural disturbance dynamics, and promote these structurally complex, ecologically complex, late successional old growth conditions, that would do a better job of providing certain types of habitat characteristics that are currently underrepresented on the New England landscape. We don't currently have enough of. So if we can find a way to harvest timber in a low impact, low intensity manner, while also promoting this type of habitat that's currently rare, it would be kind of a win-win situation. So that's what we're trying to do. The natural process here is disturbances and stand development. So we were trying to accelerate the rate at which some of these stand development processes occur, leading towards the development of these old growth characteristics. So there are a whole variety of things that we did. We started with an understanding of the kind of natural disturbance that would affect stand development, which in this case would be fine scale wind throw and ice storms. So for each of those structural characteristics that we're targeting, we had several different silvicultural techniques that we would use to promote those, recognizing that it's going to take 50 to 100 years to develop. We're just trying to expedite the rate at which they develop. We do have the potential to restore old growth on at least some portion of the landscape in New England. Areas that are now mature forest and are kind of headed in this direction towards an old growth condition. The idea now is to think about allowing that to happen in some places in the landscape, while in others maybe continuing to manage those forests for other objectives.